Emman Shehu, a member of the Bring Back Our Girls advocacy.
Now let's talk about these missing girls.
Yeah.
And of course, lots of people have gone missing after.
Yeah, before and after.
Before and after the Chibok girls. Did you ever believe that Nigeria will be where it is today, where people will go missing and nothing is going to be done?
Unfortunately, as most of the people here will tell you, I'm one of those who never believes anything this government says. And when the advocacy started and they kept saying the girls will soon be back, I told them they should get ready for the long haul. And they were like, what do you mean? I said, well, I don't trust this administration. I have never had cause to believe in Goodluck Jonathan because from my reading of his body language, he's not a person to be trusted. And everything he has done has confirmed my reading of him. And so I just knew that except for some kind of intervention, Goodluck Jonathan would never want to do anything that would ensure those girls are brought back.
Why do you think so?
Yeah, part of it is incompetence. The other issue is, of course, giving his body language, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about these children of the less privileged. They don't mean anything to him. We have seen in the course of the insurgency where statesmanship failed. He went dancing when there was a bomb blast. The Boniadi boys were not just in a state secondary school. They were in a federal government college, and 49 of them were slaughtered. The next day, the president was hosting other leaders from Africa and celebrating the centenary, whining and drinking, and not even a minute's silence for those children. Even if he didn't care about the people of the Northeast, he should care for the children of other Nigerians who were schooling in the Northeast. But he didn't bother, not even a word silence.
I know that there's been a lot of struggle you guys have to face to consistently stay here. You've had attacks at some point.
Certainly, yes.
And can you tell us about?
I remember that in the early days of the campaign, we were physically attacked in this venue, further down from here. In fact, one of our members had his hand broken because despite the police presence, the thugs that were sent to attack us brazenly came, snatched cameras because they didn't. In fact, the police told them to first collect the cameras. So cameras, the first attack was to collect cameras. So they collected cameras, and those who resisted were attacked. And then they went around the fountain and then came back and then physically started breaking the chairs on us. And the policeman who was there, the man who was in charge of the detachment of policemen who was around, Obi went to meet him, that is Bobby Ezekwesili, and he said the people were expressing their own freedom of expression. By attacking us.
Now let me ask you, why is it that Northeast Nigeria, it does not seem to get the same attention like what is happening in, say, South Sudan, like Afghanistan. The killings are enormous, but you don't get those reports consistently within the local media.
Okay, the reports. Yeah. Part of it is media ownership. If you look at who are the owners of the media, most of the media owners are given the way that business runs in Nigeria, the media entrepreneurs have to depend mostly on patronage from government. So there is a deliberate attempt not to do things that will hurt the administration. Clearly we see that with NTA. I can give you an example. I went on a program and they wouldn't let me put on my BBOG t-shirt. And there is no law.
NTA for
Nigerian Television Authority.
Government control.
Yes, the government-owned radio station.
And funded by taxpayers.
Funded by taxpayers. In fact, I told them that. I said, this is a public broadcasting organization. It's funded by your money and my money. And you can't tell me I shouldn't wear the t-shirt, because if I had a Good Luck Jonathan t-shirt. You would not argue. If I had I Love New York, you wouldn't argue. But I have a Bring Back Our Girls t-shirt, and you say I can't appear with it. And there is nothing in the broadcasting code that says Bring Back Our Girls should not appear on this program. And you have just run an advert attacking Bring Back Our Girls. So where is the balance? And they refused. They said I had to get a shirt to wear, and so I stood up and walked out of the set. So that is the typical attitude, because there is a dependency on the administration or on an existing administration. It affects the editorial policies. There's a deliberate attempt not to report things that would be seen as hurting their source of whatever. The extreme example, of course, is AIT. We have seen what the African Independence Television has become. From being one of the foremost independent stations in terms of a counterweight to the government organizations, today it is even worse than the Nigerian Television Authority in terms of its coverage. And so you have that attitude. You also have the attitude that we are not encouraging professionalism. The stories, especially from the Northeast, were essentially brought to public attention, especially the Chibok story, by the international media. Without the international media coming in and going to Chibok, despite the refusal to provide them with security, the story would not have gotten the traction, and it would not have maybe given birth to this movement. But that is also part of the problem, that the Nigerian media did not even bother to go there until the international media intervened. But we also had cases of local journalists on their own going there, but then the things they get, they cannot put on air. I know a particular journalist who has told me heartbreaking stories of things he witnessed in Maiduguri when he went to do coverage, and that he couldn't put those stories on the station because the stories would be a clear indictment of the military and of the military authorities and of the commander-in-chief and the service chiefs.
So do you have hope that these girls are going to return?
As a Christian, yes. My faith is anchored on hope, and therefore I'm doing activism based on hope, and I believe the girls will come back. But even if they don't come back, my belief is that the commander-in-chief has sworn an oath to provide security and well-being for Nigerians. It is his responsibility to account for those girls, dead or alive. Therefore, they must be brought back, dead or alive. Even if they are dead, they must be accounted for. Otherwise, his essence of being a commander-in-chief is irrelevant, has been made irrelevant. And really, in a country where there's accountability, even just for the sake of the Chibok girls, there is no reason why he should be seeking for re-election.